Hey guys, Icy Cat here. The special game mode, The Grand Larceny, is now here for this season's special event. We're going to take a look at everything that goes into this mode as well as what you can get next. When you first sign in today, you're going to see this new backsplash screen here along with the discovery playlist for the special game mode, The Grand Larceny. And you can see according to the countdown timer there that this event is going to be available for the next 2 weeks. So we have a brand new kind of game mode. The attackers must open the safe boxes inside the building before the end of the timer or eliminate all the defenders. Defenders must protect their safe boxes to eliminate the attacking team. Then for the safe boxes themselves, the map contains a certain number of these boxes. You need to open them as an attacker to progress through your objective. They can fall through the floor if it gets destroyed, and their position is known to both teams. And this mode features an all-new way to play with destruction. All operators use a shotgun in this game mode. Their destruction power is increased, and rooms' floors can be destroyed without leaving metal crossbeams. Like most of the seasonal special events, we do also have access to some special kinds of alpha packs that go with these. Unlike previous events, you are not going to get a free one just for signing in. Most events have always given you one free one to start with, and then you have to earn the others either through 1 or 2 challenges or by going ahead and purchasing them. You do not get a free one to start on this particular event. But one thing that is interesting, and we did see this with the last seasonal event, is that you can buy the alpha packs with both Renown and Rainbow Six credits, as opposed to some of the older seasonal events you could only buy with Rainbow Six credits, but now you can do it with either one depending on what you need. Now, there is a challenge right now that will allow you to get a free one if you get 20 kills in the mode. When I tried that, it was definitely not tracking all of my kills. After a couple of dozen kills, it said I had still only gotten 5, and the other people in my party that were playing were reporting similar results. So that is hopefully something that Ubisoft will fix kind of soon, because it doesn't seem like it's consistently tracking every kill the way it's supposed to for the challenge. There are a total of 31 items in this event, and the vast majority of them are either headgears or uniforms or some of the weapon skins. There is actually only one universal charm in the entire thing. So outside of that, there are 30 skins for either headgears, uniforms, or weapon skins, which is actually kind of a nice change because it can be frustrating given the RNG loot nature of events like these, where you don't know what you're getting when you pay the money for it, or Renown, and then you wind up opening it only to get one of 6 or 8 charms. This time there's only one charm you can get. The rest of them are split evenly between a 1/3 chance for whether you're getting a uniform, a headgear, or a weapon skin. And I'm really liking the looks of some of the cosmetic setups that they have for these, particularly Warden or Wamai. Maverick is another cool one. Just some very cool concepts here that we're seeing. It's not just simply changing the color of a uniform, it's also bringing in a little bit more detail than that, and that's really nice to see that higher level of quality in these kinds of alpha packs. It is still frustrating to see that they are maintaining the RNG loot crate nature of these kinds of events, but at least the higher quality is present. When you start your first round of a new match, you're treated to this Bonnie and Clyde type cutscene of Hibana and Maverick driving as though they're coming to take the money from the defenders' positions. So everybody rolls up and then you kind of select your default spawn points. For those that don't know, this is the old Hereford before the Hereford rework. So this is what the map used to look like as far as layout. However, they are using the texture and art assets from the new Hereford style. And this is a highly destructible map mode, and as we were talking about in the rules before, you have all these objectives. You can see the markers there in yellow on the screen. They show you where all the safes are. You have to essentially get in and crack these open, but you can drop these down to the level below, and as you're going to see here, there's some things that you can do to kind of make that tactically in your favor as an attacker, to go ahead and drop them down, get them to areas where maybe defense is going to have a hard time seeing you, and here, just putting down some smoke grenades, opening up those safes, capturing those objectives. Now, there's actually 5 of the safes, but you only need to capture 3 of them for the attackers to win the round. If you do win the round, you are treated to this very, very cool, unique victory animation where they come through the broken wall and then go ahead and drop a safe down into the foreground. It is a really slick animation. Absolutely love it. It's a brand new, unique kind of game mode, offers something that really hasn't been seen before in the game, and it's just so much fun. I have to admit, out of all of the special events I've played in the game, this one is hands down my absolute favorite. We've got a brand new game mode that we've never seen before. We have these new kinds of gameplay mechanics, from dropping the safes with the destruction to opening up entire, ceilings and floors without those metal crossbeams. Things just get absolutely insane. And having the only option being a shotgun, which does enhanced environmental damage, winds up creating situations where the entire map just gets ripped to shreds. and it is so much fun. Rounds in this particular mode go by very quickly. There is very little time to go ahead and get your bearings and try to set up a position. Everybody just tends to push forward right away. There is no drone phase. There's no prep phase for the defenders. Each defender starts with one reinforcement panel, not two, and you honestly barely have time to set one up if you even want to. Spawn peeking isn't really an issue because there is no long-range attack. No one even has access to a pistol as a sidearm. It's only shotguns, so you really can't get those long-range engagements, so you're kind of safe from any kind of spawn peeking, which is a little refreshing. Now, some of the safes are placed in areas where you can drop them down a level, and you can kind of use that to your advantage. Maybe you want to drop them down a level and then have everybody sit above them so that they can fire down into the area where they are and get the advantage. Other times you may want to just drop them all down and consolidate onto one level so that you have the ability to kind of defend on one level as opposed to being spread out across all three of them. But that's not always going to work to your advantage because sometimes the safes can be put into positions where you just can't drop the floor out from underneath it. It's that stone brick kind of floor, and you just can't use the destruction underneath it to drop it. Other times it's going to be in a position where you can do that. So you're going to need to quickly assess what your positions are and make the most out of the environmental destruction to go ahead and use that to your best effect. Now, you can use that destruction to go ahead and make it very difficult for the attacking team to get to the safe. They have to physically interact with it in order for them to capture it. And you can essentially create like little peninsulas where these things sit and is surrounded by an entire void of a pit around it that drops down to the next level, making it very difficult for them to do so. However, the attackers do have that option to go ahead and drop the safes themselves, so they can just drop it down to that next level and go ahead and capture it that way. The capture time on these is very quick. It is not like planting the bomb diffuser where you have some time to work with. This goes by very quickly. There is an audio cue that goes with it. You will hear them spinning that mechanical dial, and that does tell you that they are trying to go ahead and secure that safe. But it is fast. It's only a few seconds and then it's over. In fact, oftentimes by the time you hear it, before you really have a chance to react, unless you're right there, you're probably not going to be able to do anything about it fast enough, like I said, unless you get that very quick line of sight. But like I said, this is probably hands down my absolute favorite special event that they've done so far. There is so much going on. It is so insane, so fun, and incredibly creative with all the ways you can use the destruction mechanics. Things get very insane very quickly. You usually don't even have time to use your operator's special abilities, and you'll see that some operators are going to be geared better for that than others as far as what they bring to the table. Throwing in Ying's Candelas is something that is far more viable than, for instance, trying to work Maverick's Torch, because there's not really going to be any reinforced walls for him to need to worry about. And frankly, by the time he would do anything, the round is probably half over anyway, because everything is so intense and CQB and fast. You have other operators like Sledge that can break open walls and floors, but it's sort of redundant because everybody's doing that already anyway, and there's just not a whole lot of point to that. So you're going to see some operators' gadgets actually have an impact on gameplay, whereas others really either don't, or if they do, they're in indirect ways that don't matter. Then you also want to make sure that you're taking a look at the actual shotguns themselves. You're going to have some very different mechanics from a pump action shotgun like the Supernova versus something like the M1014. Having those follow-up shots come faster can make all the difference in the world, but you're also going to be able to hit a little bit harder with that slower firing pump action shotgun. Another thing you need to factor in is definitely going to be operator speeds. Having a 3-speed with a shotgun being able to move around the map very quickly is going to give you a significant advantage. Armor is pretty much irrelevant. Reinforcements are kind of irrelevant. Gadgets can be irrelevant depending on who you're picking. Some of them may have more impact than others. But having the ability to move around quickly with that shotgun is going to be the name of the game. And you'll find which kinds of shotguns and which kinds of operators wind up working best for you to suit your playstyle. Now, we will, of course, be covering all of this on Rainbow Six Radio. That is the weekly podcast that I have started with my co-host, Capdan. You can find Rainbow Six Radio on pretty much any podcasting service you want. We're on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much any place that you do get your podcasts from. Once again, that is a weekly podcast show about nothing but Rainbow Six. So come and join us over there as we discuss everything that's going on in the game, including this latest special event. Again, just search for Rainbow Six Radio. But considering this is Ubisoft's hands down absolute best event that they've released so far, I want to know what you guys think. Is this something you're going to be spending a lot of time playing over the next week? How does it feel to have the old Hereford map return? Or if you haven't played the old Hereford map before and you've only been around the game since the new one has been around, what do you think of the old layout? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification button so you're alerted as soon as new content becomes available. You can also follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.